Hi everyone. Today is part 1 of present perfect. So in part 1, we are going to define and describe the present perfect, its structure, and the time references, and then we're going to compare it with the simple past. And part 2, which is a separate video, part 2, we're going to describe ways that we use the present perfect and all of its examples, sentences, and its application and use. So that will be in another video. Let's go ahead and start with part 1. What is the present perfect? Okay, you're probably using it a little bit. It's actually one of the 12 verb tenses of English. We actually use the present perfect to describe something that happened in the recent past. Now, sometimes it can be in our whole experience. It doesn't always have to be the recent past. It can just be sometime in the past. It can be a long time ago as well, but we don't know when. It was just sometime in the past. But again, it's very common to use present perfect for the recent past, for recently completed actions. So present perfect is for a completed action sometime in the past, and we don't know when it happened. Okay, there's no specific time reference. Okay, we just know that it completed. Its structure is has or have plus the past participle. Has or have depending on whether the subject is singular or plural. Okay, we can say it has, she has, he has, everyone has, someone has. Then we use we have, they have, you have. Okay, you can be singular or plural, the group of you. Okay, but you say you have. We just kind of have to remember singular and plural with has and has or have. Now, the past participle form, okay, that's kind of your past tense verb form. If it's a regular verb, it's going to end with ed. But if it's an irregular verb, like see or take or give, its form is going to change completely. For example, see, seen, has or have seen. Okay, he has seen that movie before. Okay, take is taken, has or have taken. Give, given. All right, so that's something to remember as well. Now, as I just mentioned, we use the present perfect for an action or something that has been completed in the past or something that has not completed. Okay, and we expect it to complete sometime, sometime in the future. Okay, I'll give you an example. It hasn't stopped raining yet. Okay, we would say it that way. It's raining, okay, but we expect it to stop. And when we express that end result, that the rain stops, we say the rain hasn't stopped, or the rain hasn't stopped yet. Okay, or Tom hasn't finished his homework yet. Okay, we expect him to finish sometime in the future, but he hasn't finished it yet. Okay, but we're looking at the end result. Okay, so, but that hasn't happened yet. So we say he hasn't finished. Now, we mentioned that with present perfect, we don't use specific time references. With this tense, it's not important to know when something completed. Okay, that is not the objective of this tense. It's just that it finished at some point in the past. Okay, so sometimes we will use what's called non-specific time references. So what are non-specific time references? Those are words like yet. The rain hasn't stopped yet. Okay, we can say already. In fact, here's a list of some non-specific time references that are used with the present perfect. We have already, yet, before, for and since. Those are really common. Never, ever, always, and then you can say several times, twice, many times, because those are not tied to one specific time. Okay, it was more than one time. You can also say in the last week, in the last month, or in the last year, because that's kind of like a range of time. You can't tie it down to one specific time event. Okay, it's like saying within, a time frame. Those are some non-specific time references that you see with the present perfect. I have moved 5 times in the last year. Okay, and two things there. There's 5 times I've moved, 5 different times and within a range of the past year. Okay, we say in the last year. Sometimes people say over the past year. Sometimes you'll hear those expressions. In the last month, in the last year, over the past week, over the past month. Okay, that's basically generally a range of time, not one specific time. So talking about specific time, that kind of carries us over into the simple past. So when we talk about the simple past, we use a specific time. I turned in my project yesterday. When? Yesterday. So my verb is in the simple past. It is not correct to say, I have turned in my project yesterday. No, because yesterday is specific. I need to use the simple past, not have turned in, but turned in or turned, with ed, simple past. And we usually say turned in or handed in. I moved to Canada last year. When? Last year. So my verb is moved, the simple past of move. Now, I didn't say in the last year, or over the past year. I said last year. Last year as opposed to this year. Okay, so last year is specific. So now I'm going to give you some sentences and we're going to compare the present perfect with the simple past. So our first sentence, yesterday, my friend Leah left me a voicemail inviting me to her barbecue on Sunday. I have known Leah since we were in high school. She has always been a great friend. This morning, I called her back and accepted her invitation. I have already gone to 3 barbecues in the last month. All right, so our first sentence, specific time reference, yesterday. Okay, so yesterday, my friend Leah left me a voicemail. Okay, so left is in the simple past because I have yesterday, specific time reference. Next sentence, I have known Leah since we were in high school. Have known. Okay, present perfect because of the non-specific time reference since. With since, you can use the present perfect. She has always been a great friend. Okay, a couple things here, always. She has always been. Okay, always is not one specific time reference. Always is in your whole experience, in your whole life, or the whole time you've known that I have known Leah. So always, I say, has been. Past participle of be, been. Next one, specific time reference. This morning, I called her, simple past, called her back and accepted, simple past. Last sentence, I have already gone to 3 barbecues in the last month. Okay, have already gone. Okay, we've got a couple things here. Already, it's been finished. And then we have 3, so it's not just one time, it's 3 different times. But this has already been accomplished. I have already gone to 3 barbecues in the last month. So we have a lot of non-specific time references here. So I just wanted you to kind of compare the difference between the present perfect and simple past with these time references. Non-specific time references or no time references, you use present perfect. specific time references, yesterday, Tuesday, last night. Those are all specific time references. So I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and watch for part 2 coming up. Happy learning, everyone.